Yeah, today we will try to discuss about the put command. Actually, yesterday we have created the SnowSQL, right? And we have discussed about the different stages. We have two different types of stages, right? Internal stage and external stage. In internal stage, we have a user stage, table stage, and named internal stage. Today we will try to upload the files into these stages, and we will try to load the files which we have loaded in stage from stage to Snowflake tables. Okay, the sequence is like that. So we are aware that how to know how to load files using the web UI. Now we are loading the stages into from our local machine, location machine to stage. These are all files. Okay, from stage we need to load using two tables. Okay, to load files from local machine to stage, we use put command. Okay, and then from stage to tables, we use copy into command. It's a powerful command. Actually, we need to explore. You need to spend some quality time to understand this copy into command. There are a lot of parameters today. If time permits, today we will discuss, else tomorrow. So from local machine, we use the put command. Then from stage to tables, we use the copy into command. Again, this is all data loading. These all steps are data loading. If you want to unload data from tables to stage or any external location, tables to stage, then we will use the command get. I'm getting echo. Can someone go on mute, please? Raju, Nazreen, you have unmuted yourself. Can you please go on mute? Yeah, Nazreen as well. Thank you, Raju. Yeah, this is what the process. Today we will load the files using the put command from local machine into the stage. Okay. In stages, we have a to today we'll exclusively discuss about the internal stage. In internal stage, we have a three different stages like user stage, table stage, and named internal stage. Okay. Hope everyone had configured by yesterday's class. Everyone had gone through how we need to configure the SnowSQL. These put and get command will only work in SnowSQL. It doesn't work in the web UI. Okay. So see, SnowSQL is essential. I'm opening connected to the SnowSQL. Okay. Now okay. User stage will be identified using the @ symbol. Just understand now. I will explain this later. User stage will be defined as a using the and tilde symbol. Table stage will be defined as using the and percentage. And you need to give the table name. Named internal stage, just we need to going to define it as a and table name of the named internal stage. Okay. So today our objective is to load the files into user stage, table stage, and named internal stage. Okay. User stage and table stage is automatically created. We cannot drop them. If you create the user, automatically user stage is created. Okay. If you create the table, automatically the table stage is created for that particular table. There is another named internal stage. We need to create the named internal stage, and then we need to load files into the load stage into the named internal stage that we have created. Okay. Now let us see how we are going to load data into the user stage. Okay. So this is the command. This is the syntax for the put command. Okay. So these are all optional fields: parallel, auto compress, source compression, override. These are all the four parameters which are optional. You see here, put is a command that we are going to use. Here we are going to define the path of the file colon, then it needs to start with a two forward slashes, and we are going to define the path of the file, where our file is located, including the we need to give including the drive, in which drive, from the starting from the drive we need to give the path, and then we need to give the file name. Okay, what is the file that we need to load into the stage. Then we need to give the stage name, whether it's a internal stage, I mean to say whether it's a user stage, table stage, or named internal stage. If it is a user stage, then we are going to define it as a @tilt. If it is a table stage, @percentile table name. Okay, likewise I will show you the examples how we are going to define them. And the named internal stage. So we have a 4 parameters here. Okay, see, we have the parameter like parallel. If you have a large number of files, okay, so we are going to say that the number of threads that Snowflake need to take consider and process the files. Okay, if it is a it can be specifies the number of threads. Okay, it could, the range varies from 0 to 99. We can use any integer number from 0 to 99. Okay, so if let us consider we have a small files which are less than the file size is going to be less than 69 MB, then automatically the files will be processed in parallel and it will be loaded in a target. If you have a larger files which have a, let us consider 1 GB of file, then automatically the Snowflake internally divides into the smaller chunks and will be moved to the destination concurrently, and again the all the files will be reassembled in an order. Okay, this is what the parallel means. And you have another parameter known as a auto compress. So Snowflake uses the compression method GZ. Okay, Gunzip is the auto compression method which Snowflake uses. So if you don't want to use that, then we are going to enable this parameter as a false. Okay, then there could be our files could be compressed in our local. We may have a compressed files in a different format. So we are going to indicate to the Snowflake that whether whether the file that we are going to load is going to be any of the compression already the file is a compressed or not. Okay, it's known as a source compression. We are going to say to the Snowflake what is the compression file that we have in our local and we are trying to load into the station environment. Then we have another parameter known as a overwrite. If you are going to enable overwrite as true, if you have the same file name in the stage, then the file will be overwritten. If you enable it as a false, it will not overwrite and will throw an error. We will see example how we need to use the overwrite parameter. Okay, this is what the syntax is. Now let us try to load one file into a user stage. Okay, see, I have the my file location. I will like to show you my file location here. See, actually this is the where my files are located in desktop under C drive users Mohan desktop sample data. Okay, sample data for session. I want to load this file first underscore one dot underscore CSV. Okay, so that what we need to do is we need to copy the entire path. Just copy the entire path. Okay, just I'm pasting it here. So this is the entire path that the file is located. If you can see here in our path, in our path, everything is defined in a backslash. The path is defined in a backslash. So what we need to do, we must include the drive. So here it is a drive, C drive, right? We need to include the drive and all the backslash characters must be replaced with a forward slashes. Okay, why? Because backslash has a different meaning in Snowflake. We are saying to escape that particular character. So as backslash have a different meaning, so we need to change from backslash to forward slash. We need to modify it from backslash to forward slash. Okay, we are going to say system CU in the C drive under users Mohan desktop sample data. We are going to define the path. Okay, and then whatever the file that we want to load, then we need to give it here including with the extension. Okay, here it's a CSV. If you can see, it's a .csv. It's a file which is a .csv extension. Okay, so this is what same I have copied here. Okay,
Can we copy URL also, or you just want to give the file name?
no, here it's not a URL. Actually, enter here we are trying to load the file, right? Not the any of the URLs.
Yeah.
We just it's not a
Okay.
URL. It's a URI.
URL. Okay. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Here we need to define entire path from the starting from the drive. Okay, so we need to replace all the backslashes to the forward slash. Here we have when I copied the file, right? When I copied the path, it will be copied with a backslash. We need to backslash have a separate meaning in a Snowflake. We are asking when you use the backslash, we are asking to Snowflake to skip it, to skip the whatever the next following character is. So we need to replace all the backward slashes with the forward slashes, and we need to, at the end, we need to append with the file name that we want to load. Okay, let us load the, this is what the exact. Then we are going to give it as a auto compression is true. We have the file which is in a uncompressed format. We don't have any kind of compression. We are asking Snowflake to compress it. Okay, let's load the our first file. Just copy it. At the rate tilt is a user stage. Every user will have a dedicated stage. User space, it's a dedicated stage space where he can load the temporary files. So let's copy this part, this entire syntax. Just I'm pasting it here. If you can see it, just I'm trying to do put, I'm trying to put the file, which is, what is the name of the file is first underscore one underscore csv dot csv is the my file name, which is located under C drive users Mohan. This is the path where the file is located, and the file is not compressed in my local machine. So I am asking Snowflake to utilize it's the compression which internally it utilizes Ganjip. Just I am executing this command. If you can see here, so our source file name is first underscore one underscore csv dot csv is our source file, which is present in my lab or local machine. So what happened is, if you see here, the target compression that Snowflake utilized was a Ganjip. It is the default compression method which Snowflake utilizes. So if you see the .csv file which we have, it's compressed and loaded as a Ganjip file. The source file is around 33370 kb, but once it got compressed, the size has reduced to a 832 kb. Okay, here we have a source compression. We haven't indicated any source compression though, so the source compression is none. The status is uploaded. Okay, this is how we need to upload a single file. So let us come to the second scenario, where our requirement is to create a folder and we want to pass that particular file into that folder. Okay, so this is how the example is. After we are going to define this, right, stage, then we need to provide the what is the folder that we are going to create. This is the folder name that we are going to create. Okay, so we want to pass this particular file first underscore one underscore csv dot csv into, we are asking Snowflake to create one folder as a csv separated files, and in this folder you place this file. So I'm trying to execute it. So it had, so now let us, whatever the files that are present in the our user stage, we want to see it. Then we need to use the command named as a list. So we are using the command list, and we are asking Snowflake to list whatever the files that are present in our user stage. Okay, if list at the rate tilt is there, we are going to, how this is how we are going to define a user stage. Just I'm executing this command. If I execute this command, you can see that there is a one file without, which is not in any folder. So here there is another file which is present in the csv separated files, and the file name is first underscore one dot c gunzip. It is very similar. If you want to create the different subfolders, it's very similar to the path. Whatever the path here subfolders are created, you can give that the forward slashes like this, and you can create it as a subfolder. Here there is a another subfolder. So if you are, I mean to say, here if you have any of the special characters, then you must include it in a double quotes. Okay, this is how we are going to create the folder structure, and we are going to load into the user stage. Okay, then there is another scenario where, let us consider, you have to load n number of files. This is how, one second. Okay, see, this is, I want to, here you have a multiple files in a folder, but this is a consider that we need to load only a marketing files with the name marketing. And if you can see here, there are lot of files which are starting with a marketing. I want to load only particular files on a date wise. So we have a folder where you have loaded all the marketing files based on the date structure. Okay, so we want to load only these marketing underscore, if you can see here, 02 2nd Feb 2024, and sorry, 11th Feb 2024 and 12th Feb 2024. Similarly, 10th Feb 2024. I want to load these three files 10, 11, 12. Okay. So that these have a separate pattern. If you can, marketing underscore is same across all these three files. So based on particular pattern also, using the regular expression, we can load only these three files. So I will show you this example as well. This is located under, till now our data is present under sample data for session, but I have created another folder sample data regex, and I have copied the different files. We want to load only these three files marketing, which starts with a marketing underscore. So okay, let us pick the pattern. This is the pattern that I have. I mean to say, this is the pattern. If you can see, marketing underscore is similar. So all the files starts with a marketing underscore. After that there will be, we are not bothered, after that there must be a date. If you can see here, all the files are marketing underscore must have a date. If you can see here, you don't have a marketing underscore, these two files don't have a marketing underscore. So these two files I must not load into our stage. I want to load all the files which have a marketing underscore. After that there must be something, we're not bothering about that. So I'm going to give, in order to make it the pattern, we are defining it as a marketing underscore. So we can, then if you provide just as a star, it will consider that initially it must start with a marketing underscore. After that there could be any number of characters or anything, just simply load it, but the extension should be as .csv. This is how the pattern we are going to create, and we are going to load those three files. Let us see it. Just I'm hitting enter. See, if you can see here, all these three files, just I haven't indicated anything here, just I have given the pattern. The pattern must follow, start with a marketing underscore. Next, I have given it as a star. There could be anything after marketing underscore. So what happened? These pattern had picked the three files which start with a marketing underscore, and it had avoided, though there are the two files which start with a marketing and doesn't contain underscore. It had avoided these two files and copied all the files which have a certain pattern. Even this is the way, if you have a multiple files and if you have a files that follow certain pattern, we are going to create it in a regular expression, and we will try to load all those files into a stage using some particular patterns. Okay. Similarly, the pattern can be used to load in a separate folder as well. The syntax is very similar. If you can see here, I'm just our marketing, we have defined the pattern, and then after the user stage, I want to create marketing as a another folder. Then I want to load the files based on this pattern. Okay. Now let us go. See. Okay. Now let us list the files which are present in our user stage. If you can see here, these are all the files that are present in the our our I mean to say our user stage. We have created the marketing based on the particular pattern, we have uploaded those. So we have created, based on the pattern, directly we have loaded the files without creating the folder. Initially the first file that we have loaded, and this is the folder, CSV separated file is the folder, and we have loaded one file for the folder creation and loading the file. Okay. Hope everyone is able to understand how we are going to load the file into a user stage. For the user stage, we are going to use @ symbol, and we use the put as a command to load the files, to pick the files from our local machine, and we are going to provide entire path, and we are going to load the files into a particular user stage. Okay. Hope everyone is able to follow and able to understand. So NoSQL is important. So it is very important to understand. It's very simple concept, but everyone need to understand how we can load the files. Just it's simply loading the files from our local machine into the stage. It could be user stage or table stage or an internal name stage. It's very simple as is. You may get confused how you need to regular expressions. We need to understand. It's a huge topic actually to define the patterns regular expression based on the over period of the experience. We'll try to figure it out that if how we can write the regular expressions, how we use there are two wild characters like question mark and star. You need to how we can skip the character, how we are going to use with the group of characters. You can learn over a period of time. It cannot be, it is not a skill that can be built overnight. Okay, this is how we are going to load into the user stage the different files. There is a scenario. You may think of there is a scenario what happens if you try to load the same file again. So here we have a file first underscore one underscore csv file. Let's try to reload the same file again. This file already we have in our user stage. I'm trying to reload it again. Let's see what will happen. If you can see here, the status is skipped. Why? Because the file name already exists in our user stage. So if you have a, from this you can conclude that if you have a if you have a if you have a file with the same name in a user stage, and if you are try to load the same file again, the file will not get loaded. So how we are going to deal in this case of scenario? We have a three different options that you can deal with it. Either first load the file which is present in the user stage to the table and remove that particular file. Okay, then process the file which is in our local machine. This is the one case that we can try to execute. There is a another scenario how we can deal with it is rename the file. You can rename this file as the file is already present in our stage. Just rename this file and load and load into a user stage. Okay, that is another case. There is another different scenario where if you feel that the data that present in the user stage is not so important, so if you are okay to override the data, then you can enable the, then you can create the field, then you can create the, you can use the parameter override equal to true. We will try to execute using the override equal to true. So here we are using we are using the parameter override equal to true. I want to replace the file which is already present in the user stage. Okay, if you see here the status is uploaded. Here why it has, why the status have changed to uploaded here means here we are asking Snowflake if the file is already present in the user stage with the same name, just overwrite it. We doesn't bother about the file. So earlier it has given the status as skipped, now it has given the status as uploaded. Okay, this is how we need to deal with the same similar, I mean to say same name files. Okay, hope everyone is able to follow and understand. So now we have understood the two commands, which is a put command where you use it to pick the file from the local machine and use it to load in, upload into a user stage in any of the user in any of the stage. Okay. Then there is another command list where we need to are going to list the files present in the user stage. Now let us see how we need to remove the file which are present in the stages. Okay. Now first list the files present in the user stage. These are all files present in the user stage. I want to remove any of the particular file. Okay, then you can use the word remove. Rm is a, it is very similar in Unix as well. We use the rm to remove any file. You can use here the same command rm. Okay, then I want to remove any of the particular file. We need to define from where we need to remove and just give the file name. One second. We need to use the .gunzip extension for this. Just use the rm command, and same whatever the extension that we have, we need to use the gunzip extension as well. Just hit enter. The file got removed. If you want to remove the entire folder, then we can remove the entire folder as well. If you want to remove all the files which are present in the user stage, then simply give it as a remove @tilt. Okay, this will remove all the files that which are present in our user stage. Okay, see, if you can see here rm @tilt we have used it, right? It had removed all the files which are present in the user stage. Now try to list the files present in the user stage. You have 0 files. Okay, this is how we are going to work with the user stage, and how we are going to load the files into user stage using the put command, and how we are going to list the files in the user command, and how we are going to remove the files using the in the user stage. Okay, now let's move to the table stage. Okay, as discussed earlier yesterday, if your user is created, automatically user stage comes into existence, and you can directly put all your files into user stage. Similarly, if the table is created, automatically the table stage is created, and we can load all the table stage files, all the files into a table stage. Whichever is applicable for that table we want to load, we can load into the table stage. Okay, now in the earlier class we have created one table which is known as a first table, right? We have the first table, so we will try to load files into this table stage. Okay, the syntax is very similar here. Instead of @tilt we are going to use %. If you see here, we have the same, I am using the same file to avoid confusion in the same path. Okay, just I am using the instead of @tilt I am using the percentile here, and I am defining the table name. I am giving the table name. What is the table that what is that particular table stage we want to load the file. Okay, just I am executing this command. This will load the file directly without any creating any folder structure in the table stage. Okay, if it same, if the pattern is same, if you can see here, it has uploaded successfully, and it has used a compression as gunzip, and the size has reduced. Okay, similarly we can load the file for the folder extension. We are going to in the table stage we are going to create the folder, and then we can load the file using the same pattern, using the same syntax. Just we are going to use %, and we are going to give the table name here, followed up with a what is the folder name that we are going to create. If the folder name contains any of the special characters, then we need to include that folder name in the double quotes. Okay, it's just we are pasting it here and exit. If you can see here, it has uploaded. Okay, similarly we will try to upload based on the pattern without folder creation and with folder creation. So this is the pattern where our files exist. We need to follow this particular pattern, and we are going to load those files. These three files which follows a certain particular pattern and excluded the files after marketing A like that, and it had followed a particular pattern and it had uploaded the files. Okay. Similarly, we need to create the marketing as a folder, and we need to load those pattern files into this marketing folder. Just execute it. Yeah, sure, Chandra. I will share. Yesterday files also I have uploaded in Drive. Sure, definitely after this class I will share them. If you can see here,
Thank you.
yeah. If you can see here, these are the files that got uploaded. Okay. So now let us list the files that were present in the table stage. If the command is for the command to list is same. Actually, list at the rate. We need going to use the percentile for the table stage, and we need to give the table name. First table is our table name. So here what we are trying to do is we are trying to list all the tables that are present in this particular table stage. Okay. So these are all these files that we have uploaded into this particular table stage. Okay. Hope everyone is able to understand what is the user stage and table stage. Table stage is dedicatedly for one particular table. Whatever the files that we load in this particular table stage, these files can be uploaded. These files can be loaded. Copy command using the copy command. These files can be data can be loaded using the copy command only into this first table only. We cannot load the files that are present in the table stage cannot be loaded, the data will not be loaded into any other table. Whereas in the user stage, user can load the files which are present in the user stage into different tables as per requirement. That is the main difference between the user stage and table stage. Okay. So here we have uploaded, I mean to say we have put all the files into a table stage. Similarly, we can remove using the rm command. Whatever the file that we want to remove, we can remove it. If you want to remove entire files that are present in the table stage, just execute at the rate percentile first table. So here we are asking Snowflake to remove all the files that are present in this table stage. Now if you try to list the tables that are present in the table stage, you will get empty. Okay, see, it had removed all the files that are present in this table stage. Okay, hope everyone had understood the user stage and table stage. Now there is another stage which is a internal named stage. So internal name, the difference between the user stage and table stage and internal named stage is user stage is created automatically and table stage is also created automatically. Whenever table is created automatically, the table stage comes into existence. Whenever particular user is created in Snowflake, that user stage will come into existence. These user stage and table stage cannot be dropped. Once the user is dropped, automatically user stage will be gone, and the once the table is dropped, automatically the table stage will be gone. Okay. Now there is another stage which is named as a internal name state. So we need to create exclusively this internal name stage using the syntax like create or replace stage and stage name. Okay. Now let's create one of the stage. So this is the internal name stage we are trying to create. Okay. We are using the file format for this particular stage. Whatever the files are created, we are using the file format and CSV file format. This is an optional, whether if you require, you can use or not. Just it's a create or replace the stage. We are going to, if the stage is already exist, then we are going to replace it. If it is not exist, it's going to create the new stage. Okay. So my first internal stage got created successfully. Now the process is similar as we are using at the rate tilt for the rate tilt for the user stage, at the rate percentile for the table stage. Here we are going to use just at the rate and the stage name, and we will upload the files. Okay, if you can see here. So here we want to here the requirement is we need to move file into the our internal named stage, and internal named stage is my underscore first underscore internal stage, and we want to load this particular file into this internal stage. Okay, just you are going to copy this. The file got uploaded successfully into the internal name stage. It's again the similar, the process is similar. If you want to create any of the folder in the internal stage named internal stage, you are going to use the slash at the end and we will upload the file. It got uploaded. Now let's try to upload with using the pattern with folder and without folder. This must upload three files, right? As per the pattern that we have. It will upload these three files as per the pattern, and all these three files are gunzip with the I have the same file. I have changed the name. Okay. Similarly, we are going to, this is the syntax to create the folder and to load the files. So now let us list all the files that are present in the our internal name stage. The stage of our internal name stage is my first internal stage. Okay. Sorry. So all these are the files that are present in our internal named stage. If you want to remove all these files, just use the command rm and remove the files that you don't read. Now let us list the files if there are anything are present in this. We have removed all the files, right? Now no files are present. Okay. Hope everyone is able to understand what we are trying to do. Just initially all our data files are present in our local machine, and we are trying to move into the three different stages. One is a user stage. Once if you are a user, if your user account is created in Snowflake, automatically user stage is created. So what we are going to pick the data files in our local machine and we are going to put into the user stage. And in case of table stage, once the table is created, automatically the table stage is created. So we are going to pick the data files and we are going to put in the data files into this particular table stage. Okay. If you don't have any table, then the table stage doesn't exist and we cannot move any kind of the file into a stage which does not exist. So if there is no table, no stage exists and we cannot move any file into that particular stage. Okay. Then there is a internal named stage. We are going to load all these files into this internal file from the I mean to say local system. Then we are going to move the files into a local internal named stage. Okay, these are all the three different stages. The main difference you need to understand, try to understand this, the main difference between these three stages is, if you have a user, so this I mean to say this will be a little confusing initially, but try to understand this one. If you are a user and you have the files in the user stage, okay, you have access to multiple tables. So you have the user stage and you are the owner of it and you have the files and you have the access to different files. So based on the requirement, you can load the files that are present in this user stage to multiple tables. Whatever the file that you want to load into a particular table, you dedicatedly can load. But coming to the table stage, you can load only the files present in the table stage can be loaded into one this particular table only. It's like attaching the files to a particular table, and these files can be loaded exclusively only into this table, and it cannot be loaded into a different table. One table stage files cannot be loaded into a different table. This is the important thing that you need to understand here. Okay, coming to the internal named stage. Okay, you can give access to the multiple users. It's not only a single user who have created it. We are going to give access to the different users. We are going to give access to the different users, and based on the requirement, those users will access this internal named stage, and they can have the capability to load. If they have access to particular tables, they have the capabilities to load into a different tables as per the requirement. This is what the difference between the user stage, table stage and internal named stage. Okay, so now till till now we have completed, and until we have put the files and we have listed all the files in the user stage, table stage and named stage. Now the next requirement is using the copy into command. This copy into command, using this copy into command, we can load the files into a table. Okay, even if the table present in the table stage also, you need to use the copy into command and we need to move data into a table. If the files are present in the internal name stage, we are going to use the copy into command and we are going to load those files into a particular table. Similarly in the user stage. So in order to do all these activities, to put the files, in order to do all these activities, we require the virtual warehouse, even to use the put also. So we need to to do any kind of processing, we require the virtual warehouse. Okay, this is how this is very so this is how the virtual warehouse comes into picture to process any of the files into any kind of stage. Now let's see how we are going to create the virtual warehouse. As we have seen earlier, we will create one virtual warehouse dedicatedly for this loading activities, and we will try to load these files which are present in the stages into a table. Okay, now just I'm creating one virtual warehouse, that's it. In order to use for the we are going to use this virtual warehouse for data loading. Okay, extra small would be sufficient for the data which you are using. We're not, if you, we don't have any of the multiple concurrent users, right? So I'm deleting this one, just I'm keeping the other to suspend. If you don't have any activity, after 5 minutes the warehouse will be suspended automatically. I'm not creating any of the these requirements will be differ. I mean to say using this multi-cluster warehouse will be different. As discussed earlier, we will try to create the different warehouse based on the requirement. For our current requirement, extra small warehouse with a standard type is sufficient. We don't want to you can keep it as auto resume. Once we fire the query, it will be auto resume. Okay, so let us create the warehouse. So from now on, we are going to utilize this warehouse with the name data load activities, and we are going to load the data into using the copy into command. We are going to load the data into particular table. In our case, it's going to be a first table. Okay. Any doubts?
Yes, yes, your voice is not audible.
Able to hear me now? Right? Hello? There is some.
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
Yeah. My audio system, there is yesterday my system got updated. Yeah. So today we have understood that how we are going to put the files into the user stage, table stage, named internal stage. Now we need to discuss about the copy into command. It's a very big syntax actually. It will take, I mean to say, it will take entire 1 hour to discuss about the copy into command syntax. It's a very big syntax. We need to, here we are going to understand what do you mean by directory tables as well. So what is the importance of directory tables? We are going to understand, you need to understand the word catalog. It's a general meaning, but before that you need to understand the word catalog. And What do you mean by catalog? Why the directory tables came into existence? The directory tables, while initially there were no directory tables, and Snowflake noticed that there are some disadvantages without having the directory tables, so they have come up with the directory tables. Okay. In the next session, we will try to explore. We'll try to go in deep about the copy into syntax. This is used for the copy into command has a two different syntaxes. Okay, one is copy into table. Okay, if you want to copy the data into any table, then we will use the syntax as a copy into table. If you want to move data out from the tables to any of the stage or any of the dedicated external location, then you will use the copy into location. Okay, we will we will look into moving the data into table out of table to a particular location. Okay, from next session, I mean to say tomorrow, we will learn about the copy into syntax, and we will try to load the data using the copy into table command. Okay, I will show those files. I will show these files, and as well as this excel which I have used for this session, I will update this into the drive as well in the next 1 hour. Okay, thank you all. Good day ahead. Any doubts?
Mohan, actually, yesterday two class I didn't attended. Yesterday I seen the recorded classes.
Okay.
I have a few doubts. Like I have more doubts, but in this session I can't tell that. Can we have that single session, or tomorrow we can discuss, or this one?
Yeah, tomorrow you can ping me in WhatsApp. What's your name?
Raju.
Raju. Yeah, Raju, just ping me in the. You have my number, right? In the group. You can take my number
Yes,
in the
yes,
group.
I do,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Just ping me. I'll reach you.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. Today I
sure.
need to take few interviews. Actually, after that I will ping you. Okay.
Okay, okay. In the evening I will ping you.
Sure, no problem. Just ping me. Ping me from your number. I will reply you back.
Okay.